City Slicker 2019 battery pack. So this is just going to be a quick review on my findings about this battery pack and the BMS. This is the second battery pack that I've gotten. The first one was defective. It was just losing power, and it was kindly replaced by the people from CSE. But I'm starting to have some issues with this one in terms of um, capacity. My range is now being affected slightly. So since this is the second time and I'm working on my own battery pack, I just decided not to send it back and just take it apart and see what is inside and just give a quick review based on my experience with this BMS and this battery pack. But I'm not recommending anybody to take anything apart by yourself. I use protective equipment to do that. So this is what I found. Yes, those are pouch cells. I was very surprised to see them. For some reason, I was expecting the cylindrical 18650s, but they're pouch cells everywhere. This is a pouch cell battery pack, which is fine. I did a quick inspection on all of them, not very detailed because I haven't taken the whole thing apart in terms of cells. But what I noticed was when I was taking the whole thing apart, I started sensing this smell. It was not the cell; it was more like electronics. But I'll go over about that in a minute. So that's the meter that shows the capacity on the battery pack. That's the interface, and that's your charge port, which is always alive, which I've never liked it. But anyways, so this is where the BMS resides. And as soon as I removed the cover, I found a little surprise. Yes, so that thing is burned. And obviously that confirmed the smell of the smell of a burnt electronics. So I just went ahead and removed it. I also carefully removed the Kapton tape, and I noticed that one of the power feds, or one of those feds at board level, it's burned, right? So that is pretty bad. I also couldn't recognize the type of main chips used here. I don't know if they were Atmel or whatever, but nothing to be found. And so this is the BMS. This is all it is. I did a quick probing, and these are the balance resistors. On this is the number 1 cell all the way to 20. And these are the connectors that talk to the motorcycle. And this guy has 3 thermistors, one located on the side, used to be there. This is one. The second one is on the other end, and the third one is on the bottom of the battery pack. I was trying to disconnect this connector, but it just broke so easily that I wasn't very happy with that. So another thing that I noticed is that this battery pack does not have a shunt. I don't see any shunt embedded on the board or anywhere around the battery pack or underneath the BMS, which is very useful when you're going to do a more accurate state of charge or capacity remaining, because you can do a coulomb count instead of just going by battery voltage. So that's my opinion. So it's not a very sophisticated BMS. The cells, however, are pretty decent. They're not too bad. But the downside or the weakest link of this battery pack for sure is the BMS. I'm probably gonna use the same BMS for my battery pack, not as a main, but just as a slave, so I can tap and fool these guys, so I can keep having the communication with the battery pack and just show, or just avoid not seeing the DT codes or diagnostics codes when there's something wrong. So overall, it was packaged pretty tight inside the case. But this is all it is. So in my opinion, is not that great of a BMS. Battery cells, the pouch cells are pretty decent. But if you really want to increase the range of your battery pack, and also, I mean, the range of your motorcycle and the power, so you definitely need to do two things. Number one is upgrade your controller, which I already did in mine. I have shown that on other videos. And the other 50% is your battery pack with a better BMS. So I should be able to finish that second project on the battery pack, where I'm gonna be using mine and my BMS, so I can get the motor up to the maximum power without damaging it.